They believe that the Earth curves away from you at 8 inches per mile squared based on a ball Earth radius of 3,959 miles, and yet all the evidence demonstrates that we see way too far and there is no measurable curvature. An Earth radius of 3,959 miles? That's stupid. Whether you're at the surface filming across a body of water or in an airplane with an infrared camera, they believe that you can see way too far because the atmosphere has this magical ability to remove all evidence of the curvature and wraps distant objects around the curvature. That's stupid. They want you to believe that if you were to stand on the west side of Utah Lake with binoculars, that the opposite eastern shore, 13 miles away, should be 70 feet below the horizon. That's stupid. They believe that all of our oceans are bendy and conform to the shape of a ball, but these bendy oceans simply disappear whenever you try to measure or detect them, and are certainly never encountered by naval forces. That's stupid. They believe that the bulge of the Earth can disappear and relocate many miles further while leaving objects in between unaffected, like in this infamous Black Swan video from BMLS B69. Relocating geometric horizons in Earth bulges while not affecting objects in between? That's stupid. They believe that the only way to tell whether a distant boat is actually a mirage is by the curvature calculator. No, that boat is not a mirage. That is stupid. Hello everyone. Today's video will simply be a quick summary of an amazing flat earth proof made by our good PhD friend, Dr. John D. His video is extraordinary. It not only debunks the globe myth, but also teaches us in demonstrable detail about mirages and refraction and how the physics of refraction and mirages cannot cause distant objects to magically refract around a physical curvature blockage to present a false flat earth. It's absurd. It's impossible. At the making of this video, Dr. John D's video only has 920 views, when it should have hundreds of thousands of views, and I only want to bring more attention to Dr. John's work. I'll have a link in the description, and I strongly suggest you watch the 1 hour and 15-minute long video, subscribe to Dr. John D, and share his video and channel everywhere. A big thanks to those channels which have already shared his work. Dr. John D's long-distance observations were of the Rampion Wind Farm, which is located 8 miles off the coast of England, between England and France. I have identified his approximate coordinates here, in front of the Worthing Sailing Club. Here is more documentation regarding the location of the wind farm. We are concerned with these 6 turbines on the left, numbered 1 through 6, which will appear on the right-hand side of the actual video. From the observer's position, the closest of those 6 turbines was a little over 8 miles away, and the furthest of the turbines was nearly 11.2 miles away from the camera. Now, Dr. John did film from 2 different camera heights, 2 feet and 3.5 feet. I'm going to be concentrating on the 3.5 foot footage. Here's footage of his camera at 3.5 feet, and it also shows his location in front of the Worthing Sailing Club. Under the globe model, the horizon marks the physical point at which the purported curvature begins to obstruct distant objects. Dr. John D defined the globe physical geometric horizon as the maximum distance that the sea and the sky can be observed to meet. It's a good definition. You can calculate the distance to the alleged globe horizon by multiplying 1.225 and the square root of the observer's height in feet. Or you can just use an online calculator like this Earth curvature calculator that uses the official globe dimensions. So, according to the official globe math at a 3.5 foot observation height, the physical horizon would have to be closer than a mere 2.3 miles, and that's assuming a perfectly smooth ball. So, large waves, miraging, and atmospheric opacity may easily reduce that distance to the alleged physical horizon, but there's no way to increase the distance to the globe physical horizon without increasing the elevation of the camera. For brevity, I'm leaving out much of Dr. John D's footage, but you should go and watch it all. I chose this specific footage because there is a distant boat far behind those 6 turbines. Of course, the boat should be entirely hidden behind the supposed ball of Earth, but that's not what I want to address. Because the boat is higher prospectively than the base of the turbine that was 11.2 miles away, we know, as a matter of fact, that there is absolutely not even a centimeter of curvature present. Remember, according to the globe, the horizon was supposed to be closer than 2.3 miles, and that horizon is far beyond the turbine, beyond 11.2 miles. What is the reasonable implication of this video evidence? This is indisputable evidence that there is no measurable curvature when the globe model says that the curvature should be easy to measure and detect over these distances. Because the curvature does not exist, the globe model is false. If you know my channel, you know I have dozens of these long distance proofs. This flat earth awakening is our path to freedom, because until we can set aside these biggest and easily proven lies, we'll never be able to shake off this stranglehold on humanity. And that's the only reason why I'm here. Thank you, Dr. John D., for your amazing work. May God bless you all in your pursuit of truth.
Yeah, well, whenever you notice something like that, a wizard did it. A wizard did it. A wizard did it. A wizard did it. Whenever you notice something like that, a wizard.
Hello everyone. Today I'd like to share some new long-distance videos and photos filmed at the Californian coast, confirming again that we live on a flat earth. Before I get into the proof, I did want to mention one thing. I've been told my videos are often not showing up in your subscription and suggestion feeds. I guess YouTube still doesn't like me very much. I've been told that the best way to get around it is to hit this notification bell right here. It's up to you. I just wanted to let you know. Now, these long-distance videos and pictures come from the channel Pablo's Dog. Pablo's Dog is a mechanical engineer and has been a mechanical engineer since 1979 and is currently an engineering manager. He graduated from the California Polytechnic State University and is still well educated in the world's best problem-solving methodologies. Pablo's dog is a flat earther, but he currently only has 3 subscribers, and so I urge everyone to go to his channel and subscribe and encourage his continued involvement in the community. And I'm truly sorry about the globe trolls who will inevitably come and attack you. Pablo's dog has also posted many of his findings on this surfer forum. Some of you may want to go over and check that out and join the discussion. On the surfer forum, Pablo's dog goes by the name Boater with an H. He has some great posts there, and I'll have all of the links in the description. But let's begin with our engineer's filming location just off the parking lot at the University of California, Santa Barbara. Here's the location on Google Earth. I have his coordinates here, and his observation height was approximately 45 feet. We'll talk about a few other flat Earth proofs, but we're going to concentrate on Pablo's dog's footage of the 4 oil platforms that constitute the Dos Cuadras offshore oil field. Here they are: Platform Hill House at 14.6 miles, Platform A at 14.1 miles, Platform B at 13.6 miles, Platform C at 13.1 miles. I do have all the coordinates listed if you'd like to look them up in Google Earth. According to the globe math, at an observation height of 45 feet, the maximum distance to the globe physical horizon would be a mere 8.2 miles. That means you should not see the horizon line or any water beyond 8.2 miles. Let's watch the video. As you can see, the horizon is many miles beyond 8.2 miles, and this is impossible under the globe. If the globe were real, the Earth's bulge should have been blocking a substantial portion of all of the platforms, but none of the platforms are blocked. Because the horizon is beyond the platforms, there is absolutely no curvature present, not even an inch, and no ball earther can reasonably dispute that. No curvature means no globe, and as I have shown with dozens of examples, the globe fills everywhere. Lakes, rivers, canals, oceans, and land, and in all weather conditions. This footage here is also interesting as the landmass appears to be the Ventura Harbor Jetty at over 34 miles away, and that jetty should be hidden 457 feet below the horizon. That also means that the horizon extends all the way to the opposite shore, 34 miles away. Now, the ball earther propagandist is going to claim that due to refraction, the bulge of the Earth disappeared from here and then reappeared 20 miles beyond this platform at this line, but left the platform itself unaffected by the disappearing bulge. It's absurd. As I have said many times, refraction is real and recognized by all flat earthers. Refraction simply distorts distant objects as anyone would expect. The inferior mirage, the most common form of refraction with long-distance viewing, absolutely blocks distant objects as shown by this boat. The inferior mirage forms an opaque wall. It's interesting. I really like this Skunk Bay time-lapse footage. This one is a little different as someone added a boat graphic to the time-lapse to illustrate how refraction can block the bottom of the boat. Look at how refraction obscures, distorts, stretches, and compresses, and even creates the illusion of curvature now and then, but it's certainly not curvature. There are so many examples of this. I've shown quite a few examples of compression in the past, like these condos here, as the bottom floors are increasingly compressed by refraction. Likewise, it appears as though the bottoms of these further platforms on the left are compressed by refraction. Again, refraction is real, but refraction is not a long-distance vision enhancer that removes physical bulges of Earth and water that allows the observer to have super X-ray vision through the ball Earth. It's utter nonsense and entirely devoid of actual proof, much like unicorns. But sadly, the ball Earth faithful will tell themselves anything to maintain their globe illusion. Notice also how the further platforms on the left are perspectively higher than the closer platforms on the right, exactly as we'd expect on flat Earth. Under the globe, the further platforms should be sinking more and more behind a giant bulge wall. The bottoms of the platforms should not be rising perspectively as the platforms get further away, like these doors in this hallway here. Notice how the bottoms of the doors rise up perspectively, while the tops of the doorways get lower and lower. That's exactly what you see with the platforms belying the ball Earth. With respect to the distant peaks and other visible distant objects, here are a few pictures and analyses by Pablo's dog. Take your time and look through these photos because I could make an entire video for each of these pictures, but I don't want to make this video too long. Pause the video if you need to. As any reasonable person can see, we see way too far, and there's simply no evidence that there's a globe here, or anywhere for that matter. It's uncomfortable to shake off your globe indoctrination, but the truth is worth it. Thank you, Pablo's dog, for your work here, and I hope to see much more from you. Take care, everyone.
Does not work. You're going to get creases. And at first I was thinking you'd only get them along the longitude, but you would actually get them in either way, and it would be, just taking you off in a curve of the wrong direction no matter what. And I navigated like between reefs that I couldn't see that would have torn holes in the bottom of the ships, and I would take divers out to a shipwreck in the middle of the Atlantic. And we had the way we did that, because it was pretty near the shipping lane. The shipwreck was, I think it was about 80 feet down to the shipwreck. And what we did was we took a 65-foot line, tied it off on the wreck, and then took a buoy, a deflated buoy under, and then there's a little rig you can hook to your scuba gear that has an inflator nozzle on it. So we took a deflated buoy down 15 feet under the water at low tide, inflated it. So the shallowest that buoy would ever be would be under 15 feet of water. And, I could manually plot right to that buoy and account for wind and current and everything else, and take you right to that buoy on a flat piece of paper. So if you bent that piece of paper, even the distances I was going around a properly sized sphere, I never would have found that shipwreck. Never could have done it. It's not repeatable to navigate that way on a sphere. You could come up with a navigation system for a sphere, but we don't have it, and we don't use it. And those technical things have been kind of talked about a lot, but that was more of it. I just kept putting that wheat thin on the basketball, and it cracks. Does not work. And I kept trying to. You don't actually have to get that precise about it. All you have to really say is that here's my chart and here's a ball, and if I try to do this, it doesn't work. And so to determine exactly how it's going to throw you off, it's kind of irrelevant when there's a storm rolling in and you can't see the reef, and you got to go through waters that are literally like 3 feet deep in a 8-foot draft boat. Are you gonna wreck the thing, and or are you not? And that's the kind of precision you have to have, and it just goes out the window.
Precise navigation just does not work on a globe.
Yeah, it just doesn't.
Yeah, and that's funny because what you were mentioning, and I don't know if a lot of people picked up on it. The very first subject matter guest I had, the Navy missile instructor, he said the same sort of thing where he said, "Look, I hung out with the chart guys, and everything they worked on was on a perfectly flat, perfectly straight, these courses." And he goes, nobody adjusted for anything. And you combine that with the stuff that he would see, which was one of my follow-up questions too, which was, okay, so you're a captain and you're in open water off of Florida, lots of open expanse in the Atlantic. You're seeing nothing but flat horizons, obviously, because it's water in all directions.
Yeah.
Did you ever, kind of like the pilots that I talked to, the pilots would say, well, the horizon looks flat, but it can't actually be flat. Did you ever get any creepy moment where you're looking, it's like, did you ever have a doubt when you were out there, or was it just, something, you were so conditioned that you never even questioned it for a second?
No, I didn't question it. And maybe being down at the water level is less than it being up in the air for that amount of time. I did now in hindsight, like I don't, the whole lighthouse thing comes up.